Gratuities continue to go up, a princess ship crashes into a pier, and more. Ahoy, travelers! It's Amy with Cruising from the Ozarks here with your weekly Cruise News Roundup and my thoughts on some of the biggest stories of the week. Celebrity Cruise Line has increased its daily gratuities for the second time in the last year. Beginning on July 11th, a new gratuity rate of $18 will be charged for inside, ocean view, and veranda staterooms. Meanwhile, gratuities for concierge class and aqua class accommodations will be raised to $18.50. These are both a small 50-cent a day raise, so it's not too much. Those in the retreat are going to pay $23 a day, which is a $2 a day increase, and these are per person, of course. While these are not large increases, we all know that they will continue. Every time a cruise line raises gratuities, cruisers bring up their desire for the lines to just do away with them altogether and then charge more for the base cruise fare. I am definitely one of those people. I don't like that some cruisers have their gratuities removed on the lines that allow it. I think it's a pretty crappy thing to do because it affects the behind-the-scenes crew the most. However, if lines would just dispense with the daily gratuities, add that amount to the base fare, I guarantee that crew would benefit. Not only would they be guaranteed that money, but cruisers would be more likely to tip above and beyond for good service. I know I would. What about you? I wonder if this is an all or nothing thing. You would really need every cruise line to do this at the same time. Everybody get rid of their daily gratuities and just add that to the base fare. Because if you only had one line doing it, then when some people are out there comparing the cost of cruises, they just look at that base fare and they don't take into account any taxes and fees and gratuities. And they might say, oh, well, obviously this cruise line is cheaper, so I'm going to go with it because this one is $100 some more. Well, it's $100 some more because that gratuity has already been added to the fare and you're not going to have to add it later. But I don't know. MSC Cruises will be closing Ocean Key Marine Reserve for a month as they make improvements to the private island. The island will be temporarily closed to cruises from April 7th to May 22nd of 2024. MSC stated that it was in order to make necessary guest experience enhancements and support the island's future growth plans. MSC reclaimed a former industrial site and have been working to restore its coral reefs, local flora and fauna, and more. Now, there's been no details on what improvements are planned, but there is some speculation that construction may partly be in preparation for their newest ship, the MSC World America, which is set to debut in 2025. I've not been to Ocean Key yet, but I have heard great things about it. I think those who really like it just really appreciate that it is a reserve and they enjoy exploring that aspect of the island. The other unique thing that MSC does is nights at Ocean Key with an LED light show from their lighthouse and a beach party. Have you been? Or what did you think? Probably the biggest story of the week is the Ruby Princess smashing into a pier in San Francisco. But before we get to that, if you enjoy this video and maybe even learn something, consider subscribing with the notification bell on so you don't miss any future posts. Be sure to hit that like button as well. It only takes a second, and doing so helps cruisers like you find us. The Ruby Princess received hull damage Thursday morning when it docked in San Francisco on its return from a 10-day Alaskan cruise. Shortly after 6 a.m. Pacific time, the ship struck Pier 27 at the San Francisco port. U.S. Coast Guard is investigating and reports that none of the over 3,000 passengers and over 1,000 crew were injured, although passengers did say they felt the ship hit the pier. Locals even said they heard the crash. The ship suffered damage to its hull near the stern and had other scuffs along its port side. Early reports stated that at the time of the crash, the liner was under the partial control of a San Francisco bar pilot who may have brought the ship in too quickly. Bar pilots help large ships navigate that 11-mile stretch between the bay and the final destination at the pier. Now, a spokesperson for the San Francisco bar pilots said that the organization is cooperating with the investigation but could not comment beyond their involvement. I imagine if the fault is found with the pilot and not the captain or anyone connected with Princess, then the cost, or at least part of the cost of repairs and compensation, would revert to the port. I'm not exactly sure how that all plays out. While the bar pilot is the one that has the expertise of the area, it would seem that the ship's captain has the final say in how the ship is run, even when it's coming in and out of port. So I don't know. Guests boarded the ship Thursday afternoon as planned for the next 10-day Alaskan cruise, but they were told to remain on board ship as repairs were made. I checked this morning and the ship is still in San Francisco, so guests have now spent 2 nights stuck at port. Friday morning, Princess Cruises issued a statement saying that the U.S. Coast Guard was performing an inspection and reviewing the repairs made to the ship before allowing it to set sail on its next 10-day Alaskan cruise. But that was 24 hours ago, so I don't know if they didn't pass inspection. I don't know what's going on. It is expected that guests will receive compensation for the missed days, but no word yet on what that will be, what form that's going to take. I can't imagine being on a ship when something like this happens, but it does remind me of our trip on the Carnival Glory back in January of 2020, which was shortly after it collided with the Carnival Legend that had happened just a few weeks prior at the end of December. That one actually put quite a hole in the back of the Glory as it passed the front of the Legend and the bow of the Legend cut into the side of the Glory. The Glory got way too close to the Legend. I don't know if the wind pushed it, not exactly sure what had happened, but they cut a huge hole into it. You can see it smash through the windows towards the back of the bow. It's crazy. When we got on, they had the back corner of the main dining room sectioned off and repairs were being done throughout our cruise while we were on the Glory. Let me know in the comments how upset you'd be if you were stuck on the Ruby Princess waiting for it to finally sail on your highly anticipated Alaskan cruise. I mean, for most people, they only go to Alaska once. Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.